Are you comfortable in your gym routine? Are you comfortable with how you eat? Maybe you've been at this for a little while and you feel like you've really hit that stride. That's a good place to be at, but it can also be a dangerous place to be at. I'm going to be talking all about that. So strap in, get ready for episode 244. Let's go.
The future of fitness.
How do you gain muscle mass?
Fitness is not complicated. It's simple when you break it down.
There's so much information out there.
No fads, no diets, just plain simple habits.
You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host today. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you are here. For my return listeners, thank you for coming back. Again, it truly does mean the world to me that you continue to tune in. If you've not checked out our Facebook group, head on over to Facebook, type in Bones to Bulk, and join the group. It is a great community of people really on all stages of the journey, from beginner to intermediate to advanced to trainers. And it's just a great place to share your struggles, your wins, your losses, get tips, get inspiration, and encourage each other on. So definitely head on over there and check out that and become part of the Bones to Bulk community. With that being said, let's dive in. All right, so I know that I like routine. I love routine. I thrive off routine. And I get stressed out when my routine gets, messed up. It's just the way I'm wired. I don't know. My wife's the complete opposite, so we kind of drive each other a little bit crazy when it comes to routine. She likes spur of the moment things and spontaneity. And I'm just like, why? That stresses me out. But too much routine stresses her out. So we make a good balance. My point in this is that we can easily get comfortable with routine. And when it comes to fitness, when it comes to our food, as you know, I'm always preaching habit and routine is crucial to your success. It truly is. But there are times when that routine can actually negatively affect our progress. The reason for this is our muscles have muscle memory. They get used to doing the same things week after week. And there comes a time when we kind of have been in that stride for a while where everything's kind of going good and we don't really have anything, any hiccups in the road, so to speak. But are we really growing? Are we really pushing ourselves? Are we really, making ourselves do more difficult things that we probably are capable of? Or are we just kind of going through the motions? And I'm guilty of this. I've done this many times. And again, I don't like change. So it's hard sometimes to kind of change things up enough to do different things. But you've got to recognize when it's time to change up your routine. And usually the time to do that is when things are getting easy or it's been a while and you haven't seen any new progress. Those are kind of the two telltale signs of when it's time to change things up. And usually when it is time, it doesn't have to be anything crazy big or, just huge changes. It can be small things that are enough to get us out of that normal routine. For example, maybe you're used to doing 5x5s in the gym. Nothing wrong with 5x5s, but I think there's more effective things you can do and definitely things you should be doing from time to time to change things up. So if you're, let's just for this example, you're used to doing 5x5s. Try doing higher reps. Try doing 12 to 15 reps and doing 3 or 4 sets for a couple weeks. Still go through your same exercises, your same workout routines. Just change that up. You're going to find that you're going to be sore. You're going to feel things differently because you're changing up that normal routine. If your normal routine is to get out of bed at, let's say, 7 a.m. and you come downstairs and you get a cup of coffee and then you have 20 minutes and you shower and then you eat breakfast. You have that routine down, right? You do the same things every morning. Well, what happens when you wake up 5 minutes late or 10 minutes late? Or what happens if you didn't get a lot of sleep the night before? Guess what? Things change up and it can be difficult to change it up according to that. Well, it's the same way when we change up our fitness routine. We may not want to change it up and it may be difficult, but it is really good for us. It really is. Because it gets us out of that box and it gets us trying new things. I always recommend that you should have kind of a baseline for your workouts. In other words, your maintenance level, so to speak, for your workouts. So, again, coming back to that example, maybe 5x5s is your thing. Go a couple months doing that. But then every couple months, throw in 2 weeks of something completely different. And it doesn't have to be just higher reps. You could do a week where you're doing all circuit training, where it's more HIIT style workouts and you're going very fast between different exercises and not resting much in between, and you're doing some cardio in between your sets. These are great to throw in once in a while. do bench press, then go do some battle ropes, then go back and do skull crushers, then go do some box jumps to really get that heart rate up and really challenge you. You're going back and forth between weightlifting and cardio. You can do the higher reps, like mentioned earlier. You could try something like drop sets, where drop sets are basically, if you've never done them, you start at the highest weight you can and you do as many reps as you can. So for example, let's say you can bench press 200. So you're going to start off at 200 and push out as many reps as you can. Then you're going to immediately drop to 190 and push out as many as you can, and then 180 and so forth. And you're going to keep going without resting in between. And what you're going to find is by the time you get to the end of these and you're only bench pressing maybe the bar, it's going to feel so heavy because you're just progressively hitting it and not having a chance to rest in between. So there's a lot of things you can do to change up your routine, and I highly recommend that you do. Again, go a couple months with your normal routine, then throw in 2 weeks of something completely different. Now, it's good to do this with your food as well. Again, we can get in the habit of when we hit that stride, we tend to eat the same things day after day. At least I do. Like I kind of meal prep the same things and I, make the same meals. And while that's good because it's a lot easier once you're in that routine, we also have to be careful. Like, okay, let's reevaluate. I've been eating this way for 2 months. What can I clean up a little bit more? How can I lower maybe my fat intake each day? What things can I swap out? How can I get my protein intake up a little bit more each day? And sitting down and looking at your day-to-day eating and kind of some simple things you can swap out. Like, for example, maybe you do 2 tablespoons of peanut butter every day. Not going to hurt you, but again, if you're starting to tweak things, you got to start getting more in the weeds. So you swap that out for PB powder instead. Well, your fat content goes down a ton, so do your calories, so does your sugar intake. So again, one small change, switching from regular peanut butter to PB powder, it could be the same amount, 2 tablespoons, but it's going to make a dramatic difference over the long haul. And it may not seem like much because it's such a small thing, but again, when you add that up over months and months, it's going to add up. It truly is. Maybe, your water intake has been lacking a little bit. Just focus on, okay, I'm going to work on having 1 more glass a day than what I'm currently drinking. 1 more glass. It's not that much. You can make these changes. But again, these small changes add up. Maybe you've been having a diet soda with dinner every other night. Okay, well, let's try to cut that down to 2 nights a week and see how we feel on that. Or maybe you have an alcoholic beverage every night or every other night. Okay, let's limit that to just the weekend. I'll have some drinks on Friday and Saturday night, and that's it. These small steps, these small changes add up. And we've really got to get in the weeds and look at the small things that we're doing because, fitness has a lot of different stages. When we first start off and we start eating healthy and we start cutting down our calories, we see a lot of change, right? We see that dramatic change. But as we inch closer to our goal, we realize, hey, I have to work a little bit harder for this. And it can seem like what you're doing is not working, but think about it. What you used to do is no longer working, which means that your body is at a much higher functioning level now. So, what used to challenge you doesn't challenge you anymore. What used to be hard for you to lift with the weights is kind of easy now. What used to be hard for you to do with your food is now kind of easy. And so we have to make it more difficult. We have to embrace that challenging aspect of it because that's what pushes us. That's what helps us to really grow and get outside of our comfort zone and really stretch us in our goals. So I hope this helps. I hope it gives you some insight, maybe some things to start implementing, start doing to really hone in and dial it in like it needs to be. If you need further help, I do offer one-on-one coaching. You can check out more information at bonestobulk.com/coaching. I'll have that linked in the show notes. But basically, I can create custom meal plans, workout plans for you, meet with you once a week and hold you accountable and kind of guide you through the process and really teach you how fitness works. Not just give you a plan and let you have at it, but really walk you through the steps and answer any questions over the course of 8 or 12 or 16 weeks. And so that you're set up for success when you come off it. So there's not any more questions and you have a solid foundation. So again, bonestobulk.com/coaching, and I'll link that in the show notes. With that being said, remember, no matter what walls you're facing, what things you're coming up against, you can hit any goal that you set your mind to. You've got this.